Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Black Eel Podcast with your hosts, Scott and Mike. What we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be talking about the latest teaser trailer to get us prepared for Marvel Zombies, then move on to talking about the latest episode of Peacemaker, moving on to the three-episode season premiere of Gen V Season 2, and then ending with a character spotlight from none other than me. So let's get right into this and talk about the teaser trailer.
Same trailer, just the new thing that we saw was Captain Marvel zombified.
No, we saw Captain Marvel's zombie fight Icarus,
Yes.
a living Icarus. I want to make clear.
um,
We also
that's
saw
going
a
to
few
be.
more people die.
I felt like everything that we saw was in the last trailer. The only new thing was Marvel zombie Captain Marvel. Otherwise, I thought everything was the same.
No, I think they went into like they showed more. They showed scenes that we've already seen, and then it looked like they also showed deaths that we had not seen.
Okay, could be
Um,
misremembering, but that's fine.
it seems like they were extending some of the scenes that we had already seen. I'll say it that way. Um, what else was I gonna say? That was pretty much it. I mean, other than
Yeah,
you're right. You're absolutely correct. Most of it is what we had seen for sure. But there was very little new stuff. Um,
I'm just curious as as we're getting closer and the more we're seeing, I'm curious how much they're going to show of the initial infection in terms of like obviously
nah,
I knew we saw most of this with the what if episode, but now we're getting all these extra characters, so I'm wondering if we're going to see how they got infected or if they're just going to show up infected and be like, oh, just accept it. You know what I
no. I
mean?
think it's gonna be they showed up infected only because the idea is we know how the infection started.
Yeah, it's just because of some of the characters is the only reason I was like maybe they'll spotlight those. For example, like I said, I'm curious with Namor how he got infected, and I'm curious. Obviously, now with Captain Marvel, I'm curious how she ended up getting infected. Um, but you know, won't make or break the story. It's just something that I was wondering if they'd expand on. Maybe not in this one, because actually going off of this, uh, I believe I saw that they already greenlit a season two.
I didn't know it was 100%. I thought it was gonna depend on this, but I could be wrong.
I might be mixing it up because there was another show that got another season greenlit. Um,
Marvel Zombies. Keep talking.
yeah, well, if
No,
they
no,
do a
I'm
season
listening.
two, they could go for if they
There's
greenlit it, then they can go more in depth in other stuff down the road.
All right, so ready? This is what I thought. There were no official announcements have been made regarding Marvel Zombie Season 2. However, plans for a potential second season are reportedly already in motion at Marvel Studios. A final decision will depend on the performance of the first season, which is scheduled to premiere on Disney Plus September 24th.
Yep. I
So
just
they're
looked
waiting
through.
for the green light.
Excuse me. I just looked through my screenshots and I saw what I was getting confused with. They greenlit a Daredevil season three.
Three. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I heard that too. That one I did hear. So anyway, let us, because that's pretty much it for that. Let us move
yeah,
on to Peacemaker. Um, well, I feel like let's talk about, weirdly enough, what I feel like was the most shocking, which was that the Primal Eagle is a real thing.
that was totally real. and
I was
and
not ready for it.
and the finger in the trailer is
Now explain.
the yup. that was
Hear me out though. Did you really think that they killed Eagly?
I didn't think so. I thought he like when it first happened, I thought he was faking it to lure him in.
Oh, so when I saw the dead body was when I was like, oh no.
No, no.
So I agree with you. They killed him.
When I saw the body and the blood over it, I was like, "There's no way they actually killed him. Absolutely not." And then he started getting ambushed. I was like, Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, so they went with the Primal Ego storyline, which I was not expecting, obviously.
No, I didn't. It's the the psychotic indigenous, non-indigenous man was not as psychotic as we thought.
Yeah, and then got eaten by all the hawks and eagles.
They all teamed together. And let's talk about how big that gun is for no reason.
Oh, that gun. So that gun was the talk about when we watched it, only because it was so big for no reason, but then he could use it like it was nothing.
There was absolutely no issues. Like,
Because I was dead set. He shoots it once and he goes flying backwards, and that did not happen.
what's funny is that scene for me before I actually watched the episode was kind of spoiled because they showed it. I saw a screenshot of the picture of the gun and someone commented like, "There's no reason why this gun is so big," and the way this picture was angled, which we saw how they angled it in the scene,
No,
was
no, correct.
facing forward, zoomed in.
So it's not like you could
So
tell for sure how big it was.
I thought it was just like a exaggerated. You know how they do that with guns, where it's like, oh,
No,
it
no,
makes
no,
it
no, no.
seem large. So I was like,
I don't disagree with you. I'm
I was like,
100%
what?
on board.
So like as soon as it happened, I was like, when I saw it, I was like, "What's the big deal?" It's just the way it was set up. And then the scene shows up, and he pulls out the canister and opens the case and sees
Well,
the gun. I'm like, that is unnecessarily
the
large.
canister and the case did not look that big until all of a sudden they like pan out, because they
Yeah,
still look normal size until they all of a sudden like whip it like completely take it out. Um, but yeah, so now both of his characters are dead in the DCU, which
yeah.
is funny.
That answers your thing about like how it ties together, which
Yeah,
is hilarious.
yeah, that's now dead. So that storyline is obviously over. Um,
I'm curious if the primal eagle is going to play a factor down the road, or if it's just for
I
this
feel
and that
like
was it.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like they have that in their pocket, but it doesn't have to be. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I think it was just meant to be soming goofy that James Gunn was doing.
Yeah, but it also was cool at the same time too,
Oh
which is
yeah.
interesting. All right, so now let's talk about the meat and the potatoes of it all. Peacemaker. Um, I just love how. All right, I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but I'm like, the part that pisses me off is like I was like, why did she write copacetic? Like obviously that must mean a code for something. Now to be fair, I was not expecting her to warn him so he wouldn't come. Um,
Mhm.
although it makes sense obviously, but the fact that he showed up is not surprising. Um,
I didn't think I didn't think that because in my head, if she warned him and that he didn't show up, it would have given Argus would know, and then she would be arrested and whatnot. So that's why I was like, um, I didn't think it was a warning when we first saw it, but then obviously we got confirmed, and I was
Well, I,
incorrect with
I,
that.
I will say
But
this. I didn't know if it was a warning or if it was like, so I knew it was a code word. I didn't know
mm,
if it was like their safe word, like, oh, everything's good type of thing.
yeah,
Cause like it, but we also have to realize like Peacemaker's an idiot. Um,
yeah,
and he shows up, right? So clearly he knows what the word means because he's dodging through everyone.
hmm
I make that clear because when he talks to Adebayo later, he makes it seem like she didn't want him at all.
no. He literally said that she told him that not to show up,
Oh, that's right.
and he did anyways because he needed to find out how she truly felt. Because
But he tell her that?
yeah, he told Adebayo, yeah, in the car ride.
Yeah,
Or-
but he blames her for being captured. Oh yeah, because she knocked him out. Never mind.
yeah,
All right. So anyway,
he was like, I had a way to escape, and she
she knocked me out.
took me out. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that scene was kind of cool to begin with. I just liked their whole the whole back and forth with all the colors. Which, by the way, the colors that they chose were the most ridiculous ones.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I understand it was what they were wearing, but ivory was not a color he was wearing. Anyway, um,
I really liked how I gave the character spotlight for Bordeaux last week,
yeah,
and then they immediately went right into what she truly is.
she's mostly robot.
I thought that was awesome, and I
That's literally what I thought when I saw it. I was like, Mike could have just waited an episode.
I could have waited one more episode.
And I don't mean that to be a jerk. I meant like that you literally could have, and it would have been perfect. But
Yep,
anyway, it works out either way. But yeah, so she's robotic, and cyborg android.
cyborg.
Uh,
She's a cyborg. I saw like after this episode, I saw a lot of accounts complaining and being dramatic that they changed cyborg in the DCU, and I'm just like, you guys are dumb because they're relating Cyborg from Teen Titans to Bordeaux, and they're like, "Oh, they just made Cyborg a female." Idiots,
no, that's cyber. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna address it because that irritates me to no end. Because
right?
it's obvious. That's
Because a cyborg can't be more than one thing.
well, cyborg is his name.
It's his name, but there are cyborgs.
Yeah, like cyborg is also a thing. Is a thing. Anyway, um,
Goal
so
completed. Piss off Scott first thing in the morning.
so my whole thing was, so then we bring him back, right, and he gets his butt kicked by Rick Flag Senior, who we also get to see as like like. Granted, humans in DC are not humans. I'll say that.
They're enhanced for the most part.
Or at least the most physically adept ones, right? But
Yep.
man, he was just beating Peacemaker around, and I, how do I want to phrase this? I I don't know what I was expecting because we saw our creature commandos, but like he just like I felt like there was a couple of points where Peacemaker should have died.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
I mean,
there was some straight Mortal Kombat stuff happening.
yeah. That's the knee to the face.
The knee to the face felt so real and so just oh god, he's dead. Like he's dead.
I I mean, I don't know how obviously true this was because when I think it was Bordeaux came in and was like, hey, "Sir, I think you're a little close to this situation," and he was like, "No, this was all according to plan. I knew that Harcourt was going to turn on us and let him
I'm
know."
gonna stop you right there. She did not go in there and say he was too close to it.
Well, no, she walked in and he was like, "You think I'm too close to the situation?"
Yeah. I
Yeah,
want to make that very clear because those
yeah.
are because
But
that's
she
not
didn't.
no, it's not
She didn't deny it. She just was like went along with it,
no. She just wants to sleep with him.
and yeah, yeah. But apparent according to him, this was all according to his plan. So
Which I do not believe.
I don't really as well.
I feel like he's definitely smart enough to be able to spin it without a problem, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
The other thing that I was seeing online is, which after seeing people comment, it's like with the brutality that he was putting Peacemaker through in Creature Commandos, he went head to head with Dr. Phosphorus and made it out okay. And he went through a lot more stuff as well. So it's like with all these things that he went through in Creature Commandos, it doesn't make sense that he could brutalize Peacemaker without an issue.
what do you mean? Like without an issue? Like without?
Well, like he's he is strong and like you said, possibly in a little more enhanced than
Oh,
himself.
I'm sorry. So you meant like Peacemaker being fine?
No. Like no, I'm saying Rick Flag
Senior.
Senior is stronger than we perceive because of what we saw him do in Creature Commandos.
Oh,
So he could easily destroy Peacemaker. Granted, Peacemaker wasn't exactly fighting back at all, but and that's whether because he's guilt or got caught off guard by it, whatever.
I'm thinking
Um,
guilt more than anything else, to be honest with you.
I think guilt. But that's just like it was just something that I saw floating around online because, like you said, you didn't realize how strong he was, and it's like, well, we saw what he had done before. It makes sense.
Absolutely, and that's kind of why I said what I said because I was like, I keep forgetting that like in Creature Commandos he was facing creatures. Um,
Oh, and Clayface.
all right, I'm gonna say this about Clayface. You don't need physical strength against Clayface.
No, but he survived.
No, he 100% did. I'm not questioning that, but you get my point I'm making, where it's
Yeah,
like although I'm not disagreeing with you, Clayface wouldn't show physical strength. I know that's weird to say, but it's true.
I mean, and like you can't use physical strain because he just absorb it. So it's
Exactly. You have to use your brain.
yeah,
I mean, look at. I mean, Frankenstein's monster had to use his brain, which with whatever little he had.
which
Um,
the one that he doesn't have.
Correct. But anyway, so yeah, we get to see the brutality of it. We then also got to see him and Bordeaux like get it on. Um, they're like now a couple.
Yep, that went from 0 to
Zero to
100
100
real
real
fast.
fast. I also like Agent Flora um, being like, "You did good, John," when John puts him in the John puts Chris in the books
Yeah, that one caught me off guard. I'll be
because it
honest.
was legitimate. It felt
Yeah,
legitimate. Like it wasn't a joke. It was weird.
yeah.
Um,
No, like I was expecting him to bully him and like you're an idiot, and then like he was like that was a good thing you did. It's like
well,
oh he has a heart.
I think he knew, like, regardless of whether this guy was a monster, meaning like he killed the guy's son, he's like he deserves the world deserves justice, not
Yeah,
vengeance. Those are two very different things, which I thought was interesting. I also like Hardcourt convincing John to do it. That
yeah,
was hilarious. He's like, and I can't say some of the stuff he said for obvious
yeah.
reasons, but he's just like, that's not like everyone knows who I am. Like that's not like I can't do that. She's like, you got to do it.
He's like I'm the biggest pansy of them all. Like you think I'm going to be able to do it, and she just looks at him and he's like, all right.
All right, do it.
um, I like going back to Agent Floor. Um, I like his interaction with Judo Master,
The
and
recent one where he's like, "I will rip off your you know what," and he's like,
yeah,
"Judo Master, you're the best. Like, I wish you the best."
it's just complete 180 in attitude, and it was like that's how you handle that.
Yeah. Um, and we also got not that we. I don't think we like it was known but not known. And it's gonna sound weird to say. I'm sorry, but we know which Judo Master is, based on the phone call that Agent Floor got. So there are four Judo Masters. Okay.
hmm
When
Oh,
he gets the phone call, it says Rip Jagger.
yeah. Okay, now I understand.
It's although it might think that it's a joke name, it's actually his legitimate name, um, which is the first judo master. Just so you know,
Oh, well, that's cool.
obviously they changed his ethnicity, but it is the legitimate first.
In the comics, that was the first Judo Master.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. So anyway, so I thought that was kind of interesting, um, and so obviously Peacemaker goes back to gets released because he's now in the books, and they can't bring him to central booking looking like a broken piece of meat.
Yep.
And the plan is, or all along was, that they're going to follow Peacemaker to show him where the portal is, which I find to be interesting because we all know that wasn't the plan to begin with. But anyway,
Yeah. Right.
so Judo Master tails them, brings them to the cabin. Judo Master calls Agent Fleur, which obviously we have that interaction we just talked about, and then um, Peacemaker and Eagle finally shows up. The Primal Eagle shows up, and apparently this is the one thing that throws me off was how Peacemaker knows to shut off the device. I guess I don't know. That's weird to me.
You
Um,
cut out for a second, so I missed that first part.
like I don't know how he could like know how to shut off the device. Um, apparently you're still losing me.
The no, I put it together because in that sense I lost you in the second half. So
Well, I lost you completely, so that's why I was waiting. Um, so I was surprised that he knows how to shut it off. And so because of that, I was kind of like, okay. So
mm,
it's also a weird situation. So anyway, he shuts it off, but he jumps into it with Eagly, and then we know Judo Master jumps in.
yep, and they leave the
Um,
notes.
they
Um,
both leave the notes, yes. But before we
so
go into that, I want to state that Judo Master is going to get killed in the New World.
Oh yeah.
because
Oh
he's
yeah.
not white.
Yep.
So
I
that
like.
literally was the first thing I thought of.
Yep. No, what's funny is that people were online after this episode were like, "Oh, imagine this whole thing was just a coincidence and James Gunn literally just forgot to cast people of color in that universe and it's just a normal universe after all." And it's like that would be kind of funny.
It would be, but I'm gonna go with a no. Um, and so anyway, so then we get to see them. We get to see them minus Judo Master in the
Mhm.
new universe. Um, a time has passed because he's all of a sudden fighting a kaiju with his brother and father
Yep.
and Eagly. Sorry.
Um I was going to say and in this universe there is no Eagly.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna say it this way because I have a feeling it's gonna come up. The Eagly is not Peacemaker's sidekick. There is a chance that there's a primal eagle everywhere.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And what universe can handle two primal eagles? Because I didn't even know we had one. So
Right.
that was pretty much the end of season two. End of season
This
two,
episode
episode.
was just really good. I mean, like
A
you
lot of
get
emotions.
they're still continuing with like those feels and everything, and it's like it's
We also
building
forgot to
up,
talk about
and
the
you're
character.
understanding Chris's
What team
motivations
is going to go
every time
after
because of
Peacemaker in his universe?
yes, that too. Um, oh, and about the letter, uh, Adrian wasn't mentioned in that letter whatsoever.
So that is why I think he was crying so much.
I think so too, and not that he left, but he wasn't mentioned as being one of his closest, dearest friends.
Exactly. And I thought that was kind of interesting.
um, I'm curious if there is another vigilante in that universe, and if there is, how much worse he actually is. Like I can only imagine how much more sick and twisted he is if this is supposed to be like a more white supremacist universe.
Well, he would be a villain.
Would he be?
So, hear me out. Because the idea is like the two peacemakers weren't significantly different
Yeah,
that we could notice. Vigilante wouldn't be that much different, and Vigilante would be so black and white that he'd be like, "Why are we hurting people of different colors?"
that is okay. Yeah, I could see that.
I,
Yeah,
I'm, I, and I'm going off the assumption that he's personality-wise the same, meaning like or similar, where it's like
yeah,
he doesn't understand, so it's like you people are bad, and then
yeah,
he's perceived as the bad guy.
yeah. It,
That
it,
is my
it'll
assumption.
it'll go like one or the other, where it's going to be like he's
Oh,
more
correct.
extreme, or he is the bad guy that's the hero. Yeah, I yeah didn't think of that part.
Because that's my assumption for right now because we haven't seen him,
Yep.
and I feel like because of that because he would be praised as a hero in that universe if he was doing, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like my thought process is he's not a hero,
Hmm.
he's a villain. But we'll have to wait and see. But very much looking forward to the next episode because I'm assuming our team, the 11th Street Gang, is going to be going to the other universe.
They're going to try to find a way, and then Argus is also going to be following shortly after.
I'm assuming so. But yeah, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. But for now, that's going to be it. So let us move on to Gen V. So much.
I I love I say this every time the boys first episode premieres, and they continue to take the first 10 episodes of the episode and just shove in your face how sick and twisted and gross this universe really is, because it just starts right off the rip of oh my god, this is where we're at.
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong because I want to make sure I'm accurate. The beginning of episode one was when um, Godalkin tries Odessa, correct? Like
Yeah, when the all the scientists inject themselves
Yeah, 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 yeah.
with the thing, and they just get.
Yeah, the tentacles out of the butt was my favorite.
I saw that and I was like, Scott's gonna love this.
I literally no. So what happens is like, oh my god, that guy's melting. That guy's on fire. That guy's like, I don't know what he's doing. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, what's wrong with him? Is he just gonna vomit? And then he just rips tentacles out of his butt, and I went, ah! And I was like, oh god,
Take
hit
it
him!
back. Take it back.
Not there, anywhere but there. So yeah, um, which also makes me think that he had prostate cancer.
hmm
Um,
I kind of yeah. With what
which is a
happened with
which is a
Butcher.
weird thought to think about that I would have at that moment, but it is.
Hey, I mean, look at like you said, look at what happened with Butcher.
No, that's what I mean. Like that's
Yeah,
exactly it. So anyway, I also wasn't expecting Godokin to die right there either.
I was
Uh,
not. Yeah,
I was kind of thrown off by that. But anyway, because he's supposed to be like the founding father, which he still is.
still is, but I
But
figured
like,
he would
I
be
thought he
playing
had
a little bit
a
more,
longer life.
yeah, a little
But
more role to play.
isn't he the husband of Stormfront?
I believe he was, if I remember correctly.
As long as I'm not that crazy, I just want to make sure. Um,
So that means he got the experimenting done on his wife before he died, which was
yes,
before Odessa began,
yes.
or
But
testing for Odessa
well,
began.
we don't know what Odessa truly was yet,
Yeah.
because he had already created the V serum,
Yes.
but I think he was specifically trying to get a specific mutation, and
Okay.
that I'm assuming that what Odessa was us making a specific mutation, not just based on the person's body.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't really
I
sure.
don't know
Like
for sure.
the
I don't know for sure, but that is my guess right now.
yeah, I didn't really know what like the Odessa really meant because it was there was a lot of quote unquote Project Odessas, so it was like I
And
didn't
all
know if it
died
was
except for one, which doesn't make sense to me because I have a feeling that Newman had to have been part of Odessa. Actually, you know
not.
what? Now that I say that, I could be wrong because she could have been just a happy accident.
Yeah, that's kind of like it just happened to work out that that was her powers because their Newman was what's his name's
Secret project or
little
secret
secret whatever and Marie is in
public.
a specific public experiment. So like that, I feel like they saw what Newman was and was like, oh, we can create a better one.
No, and I guess that was the thought process, and like that's why I think Odessa is like trying to create a specific mutation instead of just shooting people up with um, V and
Hmm.
like hoping for the best. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
that would make sense.
even Homelander was still an accident. Like he was
Yeah,
created, but they got lucky with him
there was no targeted. Here's the thing. They were trying to create a new what's his name
I know who you're talking about, Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy. They were trying to create a new Soldier Boy, but he went too far because of the abuse that he got.
No, no, correct. And the idea was that's why they used his DNA to kind of help facilitate to see if they could get the same genetic mutation from it. And they didn't. They got more, technically.
Hmm.
Which is not a bad thing necessarily, but the idea was they sort of figured it out, but also didn't.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, so we had that, and like, and then we see that was just a weird beginning.
I mean,
Also, then the scene of Jordan and Cricket, I can't remember her real name.
Emma,
Emma.
Emma.
Thank you. Get dragged out of Jordan gets dragged out of prison, then tries to fight his way out, then gets beat down, then gets thrown into the truck, and we see Emma who is literally terrified. Um, and they're like, "Where are we going?" And then we get to the school and we deal with the Hornet, the bee. What are we calling her?
I'm gonna call her a hornet, or I just
Which
categorize a
which
bee, the bee lady.
which is the one that if you sting them they die? Isn't it a bumblebee?
Not a bumblebee, but it's a bee.
Okay,
Yeah,
anyway. Um,
or it might have been a hornet. Wait, let
no,
me
no,
see.
because it's a bumblebee, but it's specifically the male ones that do that, which is why it's funny.
I thought bumblebees don't sting; they bite.
I don't know. It doesn't. Oh, you know what? Now that you say that, bumblebees are furry, not
Yeah,
scaly.
yeah.
So it could be just a bee.
That's why I said just a regular bee.
All right, we'll go with that. I've decided. Um, so anyway, yeah, so many things.
Oh
Also,
yeah, just a regular honeybee.
okay, perfect. So I was correct, but not correct at the same time. So anyway, we have that going on. So they then have to do a press conference of being like saying that they're okay with everything that happened, and like we're glad that like you guys realize we weren't the ones responsible, and that we're going to be fighting for justice, and stopping the Starlighters. Blah blah blah. And I just love how Jordan's like, that's not happening. And Emma's like, we're going to do it. And we're going to do it with a smile. And we're just going to be fine.
Yep,
And she's the voice of reason. And I'm very surprised about that this season.
because she is
She knows the media. Like, here's the thing. Like, based on how the season goes, like, obviously she is not a physical contender. But she has never pretended to be.
absolutely, and that's where she's kind of now coming into her own of realizing like her powers aren't going to win her the like if she goes head to head in a fight, her powers aren't going to be that significant like they can be, but compared to some other students, like she can't keep up. So she's got to work with her other strengths in order to get ahead. And they are really focusing in on that and using her like I know we talked about this yesterday, but using the death of Adrian to like being able to motivate other people. Like he motivated her and she's taken that to heart to be able to now
No, agreed.
go into a better cause.
No, I 100% agree. And I think, and we discussed this yesterday, but um, they did such a great job honoring the actor's death
Yeah.
in to incorporate it in the story where it felt like the death was. I don't want to say like justified because realistically they wouldn't have killed him off,
Mm,
but the fact that they did it so well that it was like as if it was part of the story.
yeah.
We have Marie running for her life, which I thought was kind of fun. Um,
And getting into fights.
is it dog not or dog nut?
I thought it was dog not.
Like not like astronaut?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let me
because I kept hearing something else all the time, and I thought that was very gross, but also wouldn't have been surprised. Is it AUT?
um where
So he gave me. Obviously, he has dog powers, um, so he can like sniff. He's used as a tracker, and apparently he's got physical strength too. Also scared a
yeah.
dog to near death.
Yeah, it is
It is what? How's it spelled?
I think it is dog not. The problem is when I looked it up, it's showing me a anime called Dragonaut, and I'm like, this is not what I'm looking for.
I put in Gen V dog knot.
That's what I did.
Obviously not. We would have been here already.
Oh, Dognott.
All right, not how I thought it was going to be spelled, but it's spelled like not. Oh, dog knot, like
Yeah,
a knot.
yep.
Oh,
That's the amount of the disappointment in that voice.
I don't know. Anyway, so he goes
That's
hunting,
hilarious.
sniffs her around, and finds her, and then Marie starts fighting. And then Starlight comes in, blasts him off of her, and then they talk about how she needs to go back to school and find out about Odessa. Now, I thought she was going to say yes there. So I was kind of surprised that Marie said no.
What was you cut out for a second? So what was her yes? She said yes for what?
I thought she said yes to Starlight right at that moment, and she obviously doesn't,
Oh yeah, yeah.
based on the
Agreed.
trailer. So anyway, then
Um,
she stays doing
which
that.
yeah, it's understandable. I mean,
Oh no, I get it. Like it made sense for sure. I just because of the way they did the trailer, they cut to all the different things. So I was like, oh, she's not gonna go back to the school right away, and she still does, just not as quickly
yeah, it took a little. They kind of like jumped to that coming back very quickly with
with the trailer.
the gang coming to get her, and then obviously ending of episode one with Kate getting attacked and bleeding out.
I thought she was dead.
I so thought she was dead. I was
Well,
like,
the
I
thing is,
cannot believe.
so my whole thing was all the stuff that they showed us already at that point was everything that was in the trailer. So I was
Yeah.
like, they're killing her. They golden boyed her. They're golden boying her right now. And then
Yep.
obviously they didn't. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. Um, Also, how did her arm get cut off? Do we really know that, or did it just because of blood loss that they had to amputate it?
Her arm got cut off. Yeah, it was at the end of episode. It was at the end of season one.
Marie cuts it.
Marie explodes it.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I knew I couldn't remember something. You know what it was? I'll say it this way. It looked too cleanly cut, and
Yeah,
maybe they did cut a little extra off because of the explosion. But I just because I saw it like look cleanly cut, I was like, "Oh, it got cut." I don't remember it being cut, but no, you're right. It got because she went to go touch her, and it then went boom.
she went to go mind control Jordan, I believe, and Marie saved him.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
that's when Homelander showed up. At the end of season one.
Oh, it's been blown up since then.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so stupid. I thought it was because of that whole scene to begin with.
No. Nope.
Oh,
That was season one.
that's funny. That's funny. That is hilarious. So anyway, episode 2 is where Marie goes back to school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this one is a messed up one because we had Emma. No, what is her name? It's Emma.
Emma. Yeah, Emma.
She went to go see Polaris, who's a drunken mess. I don't know if it was season 1 or season 2. Bear with. I mean, episode 1, episode 2. It's all blending together a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Um, and convinced him to stop being a drunk and do something, and did something. He's now a teacher at God U.
He is now close to the situation.
Yes. And he's basically wanting to kill everyone, and she's like, why don't we use your brain? Because your son made it very clear that we need to think about this more. And he said you were the smartest person, and he knew. And then he's like, okay, we should probably take a step back then.
She again, she's like you said, she's the voice of reason, and she is utilizing
So
her strengths.
she is the voice of reason and the comic relief still, and it is
Oh yeah.
blowing my mind. Like she is basically the Red Guardian of this universe.
No, she's yeah. I don't know if I go that far,
No,
but
no, no. But I mean, like, no, hear me out. Like voice of reason and comic relief. That's
yep,
what I mean by that.
yep.
No, Red
No, but
Guardian is
she
also its own little thing. I know, but you get my point.
but no, I like the direction that they're going with her so far, and
Definitely
it's
so. I also my favorite scene so far is when she gets big with Polaris.
and
And
then
he talks to her after being like, we need to talk about what happened in there. And she's like, oh, because I went big and you saw my knockers. And he's like, no, that had nothing to do. No.
and she's just talking like when they go boom 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 boom.
And he goes, no. And she goes, what? He goes, when you after that. And she goes, oh, when I threw up. And he's like, yeah. She goes, oh no, that was only because of an emergency situation. He's like, are you sure? And she's like, no, no, trust me, I only did that because I needed to shrink immediately.
I don't do that much anymore.
Well, it sounds like she's not doing it at all.
She's trying not to, but obviously in extreme circumstances where she has to, she will.
Well, no, remember she said how she says she shrinks. She goes, I just have to think little of myself or something. She like belittles
Oh yeah,
herself, and
yeah.
she's like, and so then I get small. And he's like, and she goes, no, trust me, it's better.
She's like, it's progress. It's okay.
It's
Like,
progress. We're fine.
that's so bad.
Also, can we talk about how? All right, so she is in the performing arts, right? Is that what she's under? I forget. I believe
Yes.
so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she is apparently being handpicked. Like the dean is specifically putting people in classes based on certain reasons, and
Hmm.
she finds out she's in the performing arts class because that's where he wants her to be, and she's like, "Oh God," because she has the
Yep.
highest following out of everyone.
Hmm.
Um, and I find that to be interesting. And then we have the I don't know what he calls them, but doesn't he has like a specific thought for all of them in the seminar, the hero seminar.
Yeah. Are you talking about like
Yeah,
the?
what does he call them though? Like he like you know how he's like the performing arts, and then these guys are the
Oh, I don't remember.
because it wasn't heroes. It wasn't
No.
heroes. It was
No, it
something
wasn't.
else.
Yeah.
Was
I
it
don't.
weapons, soldiers, something along those lines?
Might have been weapons. Might have
It
been
might have
something
been
along
weapons,
those.
but you get my point. Like he gave like a specific name to them that was
Yeah.
not fun.
Which it's very clearly they're doing it in a very his goals are very specific for him for them.
Yeah, so then we have the big hammer guy come in.
Yeah, and just utterly destroy all of them.
I also love how he stops his heart from stopping. Like he just keeps it going because he's that strong. He's just like, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
I do not want to be face to face with you.
Also, specifically only going after Marie.
The very yeah. He has a specific target in mind.
No, don't get me
He
wrong.
was he was
He did do
told to
damage.
target.
He did do damage to other people without a problem. I'm not stating that, but I'm just stating like, and the only reason why he really attacked Jordan was because Jordan was defending her.
Yep. He was going after other people that were either going for the objective or protecting Murray.
Correct, correct. And but he was clearly going after Marie.
Yep.
Um, and then Jordan saves the day by pushing the button. And then Cypher comes out and he's like, "All right, good job. We'll see you guys next week for your next class. Hopefully you're prepared better." And she's like, "People got his back broken. He'll heal, maybe. I don't know."
Eventually.
No, but he
That's
like made it clear, like maybe I don't know, and then just leaves. I thought that was kind of cool. Also messed up because Cypher is. I am trying to figure out what Cypher is, um,
yeah.
and I cannot figure it out.
No, they're good. They're so far they're doing a good job at keeping him a mystery.
Yeah, like we still haven't seen the scene where he stabs himself with the knife.
Yeah.
However, I feel like there's more to his power than that. And the reason why I say that is because he's making it very clear he wants everyone to know how their powers work completely, which
Yeah.
means he knows how to use his power extremely well.
Yeah. He wants these soups to reach their full potential.
Correct. Um, and then we also didn't talk about how, which we shouldn't have been surprised about it, but Godokin is a Nazi, which we should have already known.
Yeah.
Um, no, I'm only saying it that way because I was shocked at first when I saw it, and then I went, but he's married to Stormfront, so like it should, like there shouldn't be any.
It was like, oh my god, oh wait.
I literally was exactly that. I was like, oh my goodness, oh, and then I went, but he's married to Stormfront, and we knew he was a Nazi. Okay, calm down a little bit.
um now obviously going through this is with everything that happened from season 1 and even from the boys season 4, very clearly that everyone that is now still at Godalkin, one is it's an all soup uh staff except for a few, and they are incredibly
Segregated.
segregated and harassed and bullied. It is like it is taken a turn
So
of
I'm gonna
we are
say
superior.
well, here's my thing. All of the jobs that are serving are human. They are
Yep.
not so like I want to make that clear because they made
Of
sure
what we've seen.
correct, and that's what my assumption is right now. Also, I felt bad for that woman,
Yeah.
so much so.
Yeah,
Like the X-ray
she's
guy, everything, like all of it. I was just like, wow. Like, and you know what's sad? I'm watching it, and I'm gonna get very little into this, but like I'm scared of where we might go in real
yeah.
life based on this. And what's sad is it's not as far fetched as I would like it to be.
Yep. No. We've said this is that the boys
No,
are mimicking real life so well.
I'm gonna say this. I feel like, and here's my thought on this. Okay, I'm not stating that they're not attempting to show the extreme side of what could be happening in our country.
Hmm.
My point I'm making is, I feel like they go on the extreme side, and then it turns out to be
It's
no,
not
this
as
is gonna be.
extreme as you thought it was. Yep.
No, I'm talking about the writers themselves being like, no, this is gonna be very extreme. We're gonna prove a point, and they're like, it's not that extreme, and they're like, we tried, we tried.
I
We can't make
mean,
it any more extreme.
well, I mean, look at Andor. It's like, oh, this is supposed to just be fiction, and it's like, no, nah, it ain't. It ain't fiction. It real life.
Yeah, well, and that and the Handmaid's Tale too. Like that's another one. I don't. I know you haven't seen it, but like, it. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But like, there's something that specifically happens to start the Handmaid's Tale
Uh-huh.
that is potentially going to be happening soon.
Oh, great.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, well, it kind of happened, kind of didn't, type of thing. We'll explain. I'll explain it to you later. But anyway, moving on from that, we then have the next. So then Jordan becomes the number one.
Yep.
They are now calling them a trans hero, and they don't feel comfortable with that. They call themselves bi-gender, and they're like, no, no, you're gonna be called trans, and this is how you're gonna like it. Which I thought was very interesting. And here's why I thought it was interesting. Because I felt like, but again, this is a weird world. Because Jordan's a soup, it doesn't matter. But like I thought, when people,
What doesn't matter though?
I thought they were like against homosexuality and stuff like that, because it's supposed to be like Christian values.
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay.
So I was surprised that they're emphasizing trans
Yeah. Yeah,
because
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true. I completely forgot about that. Didn't even
so
cross my
that
mind.
that's
I
what
feel like, well,
that's what threw
so
me off.
like, yeah, they probably could have like
It makes
swept them under
sense.
the rug. Because like I was in my head, I was like, well, they're one of the like the prominent, prominent team of like the powerful soups, the heroes of Godalkin, whatever. And but I'm like, oh, they could have just swept them under the rug and made emphasized everyone else and just left them alone.
Well, that was
But
kind of the thought. That was season one, basically. That
yeah.
was basically season one. And so I wonder if because they got a bigger following that they've had to like adjust.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously
They
there's
got so
some
popular that they couldn't it couldn't ignore them.
correct, which does happen. Which does, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I know, like there's been times where they've had to keep people who they didn't think was good, but only because of their following.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I also that speech. Oh, oh, you know what I said after that speech?
What?
Jordan's dead.
Oh yeah, absolutely, one thousand
I was
percent
like, well, I guess Jordan's gonna be the new Golden Boy. He's dead next episode. That was my first thought.
dead
Um,
or
Significantly, well, obviously
gone missing.
specifically the rankings would be lower for sure. Um, Also, we need
Oh,
to talk about the
absolutely.
revolution. Um, Apparently, we found out that there's a chameleon, so the tail girl is not just a tail; she can absorb people's powers for 30 seconds. She
Hmm.
was rogue.
Yep.
Not what I was expecting.
No, definitely not. No, I like again going taking Andre and taking his motivations and being able to mm, push other people to hit their full potential as well.
I also like how she's like, by the way, you guys like your methods suck, and they're like,
Yeah.
we want you to leave, and she's like, no, 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 no. Like let's do stuff, like let's disrupt the system, and they were like, and then she was like, okay, we agree. I We don't know what the other girl's power is.
No, no, we do not.
Um,
I like that situation. Not I like. I thought it was funny, but yet really dumb on their part, where they were like, "Oh, we're going to, you know, fight back," but they're still making the human the scapegoat by constantly harassing the human barista and putting the resist sign every time she takes it down, so that way the soups show up and see the sign and want to blame her. It's like you guys are trying to fight back, but yet you're bullying the one that needs your help.
Yes, my whole thing with that was my thought process, okay? And I think they had a good thought process for themselves. Hear me out.
Yeah.
The idea was that way nobody would suspect it was a soup.
No, absolutely. No, I understand that they're making that like putting it right front and center where everyone's going to see it. And then like you said, if it's next to a human, they're going to blame the human. I just felt bad.
Oh no, no,
especially
no.
with like especially like I said with how they were trying to say like, "Oh, we're trying to fight back and like,
No,
stop."
I don't disagree. I agree with you on that one, but more of what I'm saying is like I understood it. We also don't know what the other girl's power is. I'm very interested.
Yeah, you said that.
Obviously, obviously it's not something spectacular because she doesn't think of herself as a hero. So it's definitely not like a earth-shattering type of thing. I'll say it that way.
I was wondering if she was no, because then she would have done it herself. I was like, oh, maybe she's the speedster and she was
No,
just taking her power, but um,
a speedster would be in the hero course
that's true. Yeah,
because
they
the
would.
idea is you want to see who's the fastest, and the fastest is on the seven always. So I feel like she's not a speedster.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, you're right.
Also, I'm surprised the chameleon wouldn't be in the hero class though.
I think probably because she said her powers only last for a few seconds. It's
A few
not it.
seconds, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not. If the
She would always
powers
have to.
lasted longer,
She would always have to be teamed up.
yeah, she would always have to be with somebody. Otherwise, she would lose in a fight very quickly unless she ends the fight fast.
She's got a tail. Oh,
You're so obsessed with that.
it's a very weird tail. And I know what it's used for. They talked about it in the show. I don't want to be. I don't want you thinking I got dirty thoughts. They had the dirty thoughts.
They had the 30 thoughts, and you just focus on it.
I just want my thoughts confirmed, and they were. Also, we got to see Aunt Pam.
Yeah,
That so also
which irritated me to no end.
I was not surprised by any of
No,
that.
no, no. I'm not surprised, but it's just
I knew that she had gotten the sister. Like even though she had stated that she couldn't, I was like she had her. There's no way that she didn't. Like there's no way
mhm,
around it, and that's why she kept her away. Because why else would you keep her away completely? Like
mhm.
I can understand staying away for a while, but to completely stop talking to her like forever well, you know what I mean. Um, she had to have had the sister.
I mean, I can understand the staying away from her forever. Like, I don't think that's as far fetched as you think.
No, no, I'm talking about no communication. That's the key. For
No,
me,
I could. I mean, it's one of those things where if you blame the person for a traumatic event to the family, you don't want any communication. Like, I can see it.
my whole thought is she knew what Marie was, and
Yeah,
so she did not 100% just blame her fully. Hear me out. Like there was still a little bit of like she couldn't control herself type of thing.
yeah, yeah.
So like that's why she was okay with speaking to her then. But my whole reason was she waited until the other daughter had left to speak with um Marie.
Now, the thing that I'm going to argue with is that we don't know that situation for sure. We don't know if Marie, how often Marie tried to reach out to her. We don't know because it could have been like the last time that she tried to talk to her, she made it clear that it's like, I never want to see you again. So Marie, has been afraid to try to reach out because obviously, like,
No, remember she had ghosted her. She just Marie had reached out and
yeah,
she never got an answer. So then she just stopped.
yes. So, like, because of that, so then it's like Marie was like, I don't see the point. So we don't know how long ago that was. And it's at that point where it's like, that who I don't remember who she was talking to that said, "Oh, you have to reach out to her." Um,
It was either Jordan or Emma
yeah. So I don't remember which one of the two of them it
because they had
was,
gotten the
but
Odessa files and they found out that Marie was Odessa.
mhm. Oh, so then it might have been Jordan then,
Maybe I don't remember.
because
I don't.
Jordan,
No, Jordan was against it, wasn't? Weren't they? Oh
I don't.
no, no, they were only starting to just join the club with Odessa because they found out it was Marie. Meaning like so
Yeah,
yeah, so they could have said yeah maybe you should talk to them.
yeah,
Um, and then they were gonna join them to have the conversation, but then was pulled in because they were number one.
yes.
Um,
But now, the reason why I was saying what I was saying was because uh, the way Marie had made it out is that they both her aunt and her sister were terrified of her, and Marie emphasized the point that you knew what they did to me. You knew this was not my control, and I was inexperienced, and it was an accident, and you let her believe it. So if
can I
her
talk a little bit more about that because
absolutely,
no, because right now, like it was one of those things where it was the most messed up scene because it was they thought you were the miracle and there was actually Annabeth because they went there because they couldn't have a kid and then they had you however they do it and then Annabeth was born after.
yeah. So before getting into that, I just the reason why I was saying is that you know her aunt was letting Annabeth believe that Marie was the monster. That and
We
if
don't
she
fully know that either.
we don't, but at the same time, if her aunt truly believed that Marie was not the monster, she would have been trying to work with her sister to communicate instead of
Oh,
allowing her to stay hidden.
here's my thing. I don't believe she was putting that in her head, but I definitely don't think she was like disputing it. I think I can agree on that.
At the very least, yes.
No, no, like I feel like she wouldn't even want to bring up Marie technically. So I feel like
Yeah,
she would just she wouldn't like denounce what Annabeth was feeling, but she would more be like not say anything and try to move on with the subject. But we also got to find out that Cypher was holding Marie as a baby, which means he
yep,
knows that she is Project Odessa,
yep. And this is why he really wanted her back at the school.
which is also why he's really wanting her to understand her powers because apparently her powers are more than meets the eye.
Yep. And Kate is very jealous and
And
pissed off.
and Kate is also very broken and can't use her powers right now fully.
Yes.
She can without controlling them right now.
Well, I thought it was that she could use her powers, but it would end up harming her.
No, 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 no. She, the thought right now is she can't control her powers, so she might have been told not to use them. But
Yeah,
the idea is her powers aren't being worked the way they used to be because of the incident in the
because of what
hospital.
happened. Yeah, because
Yeah.
she got the brain damage, whatever.
So until she's like healed more, it's best not to use her powers until they find out how her powers are going to be used now. I guess the best way to phrase it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. So to be honest,
I
I
feel
had
like
taken
what she said to Sam, I feel was a lie.
I had felt that the scene at the hospital was just her being afraid and reacting and trying to defend herself, and uh not because she wasn't able to control her powers, but because she had just been through a traumatic event and she was unconscious, and now she's coming to. So she just that was her way of defending herself.
It
But
was
what 100% I like what you're saying, I agree with, and now that you put that into my head, I can understand that situation. Um, we'll find out more as the
oh no,
episodes progress, probably.
100%. Like it'll definitely be addressed, no question
Yeah,
about it. But the idea is, I just think
that was just how I initially took it. So when they because of the brain damage, because she has to use her mind, and it already took a toll on her in season one. Every time she used her power, especially if she used it too much, that's why I was like, because of her brain damage, if she continued to use her powers, it would definitely end up
yeah.
killing her
So the
more.
reason why I'm against that one for right now is only because there didn't seem to be a side effect for her using her powers while she was in the hospital.
That we know of.
Valid, but you understand my point. Like we didn't see
Yep.
any blood in her eyes, none of that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's why I'm stating like her powers aren't working the same way.
Hmm.
So that's the whole thing. Also, the fact that they can't give her a good enough hand blows my mind. I,
it's
I
it's 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 a symbol now. you
anyway.
know you got to make the sacrifice to, you sacrifice one so that way everyone remembers what happens, and now you're a hero and you have your battle scars.
Yeah, and then Sam had a temper tantrum in these episodes, destroyed his room. Um, I was not prepared for that. I also wasn't prepared for him and Jordan fighting.
Yeah, no, didn't see that coming.
And then
And then and then the dude coming out of the other guy's butt.
that you know what I actually thought was happening. To be honest with you, I thought
what
he
what?
was. You know what I actually thought was going to happen in that scene.
The
I
invisible guy?
I thought it was the invisible RA was behind him because we heard the noises, and I was like, oh okay. And then all of a sudden, once the head popped out, I was like, I was completely wrong.
I was like, okay, it's clearly invisible dude,
That's
right?
exactly what I thought. I was like, okay,
And then and then the
what
head
what
pops
happened?
out, and I'm just like, that went a direction I did not expect, but I'm not surprised. It was,
Isn't now
uh,
the guy that goes invisible? Isn't that Translucent's son?
I don't remember.
All right, I know Translucent has a son. I just
Yes,
can't remember how old. I feel like it's that age.
it might be.
Because
I don't
anyway, it
remember.
doesn't matter. We also got to see the deep. We've also seen a lot of Firecracker more than I was expecting too. Granted, it's
Yeah,
in the news reports, but like, even though she's not physically there, she's there. So I was very surprised to
she's
see.
on the advertisement. She was on the chips that Dognot used to track down Marie.
No, no, absolutely. But you get my point of making.
Yep.
So I don't know if you've seen any of the trailers of what's to come.
No.
Have you?
No.
That I won't ruin it.
Yeah, I try to avoid those because I want to be
So, all right.
completely
So I will
like
say this:
surprised.
there's a reason. So my issue was I watched the end credits of the episode one, so I didn't think there were going to be that many. I thought there was just going to be episode two and three,
That many what?
like spoilers for the whole season. But there was one thing that they spoiled that I was like, oh, I was kind of surprised about. And
Oh, okay.
I will only say this because this will not help you because there's so many characters. But there's a character from the boys who I wasn't expecting to be in this show is going to be in,
Oh, okay. All right.
and that's all I will say because
Mm-hmm.
I was very surprised. I'll say it that way. But anyway, that being said, I'm curious about Cypher. I want to know more about him. He knows a lot more about what's going on than we do, obviously. Um, and we're going to see what happens.
Yep.
But next
These
episode, we're
these
going to
these
see the
episodes
aftermath.
do amazing work with like the emotion and and I know you said you wanted to talk a little bit more about Marie and her aunt, so I know I went in a different direction before, but like,
No, I just mostly wanted to talk about the Cypher thing. That was it.
oh, okay. Yeah, no, that one that was just that was just like a heart tear because you feel for Marie that was going, needed the support, and her support just completely abandoned her.
Well, like the idea was she thought she was just getting injected with V, and it turns out the only way they could have a baby was that way,
Yeah.
which does change it a little bit, I will say, um, for me as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I feel more like the parents really didn't have a choice. Like in their mind, that was the only way they could have a kid,
Hmm.
and so like it worked out obviously for them, but also not because they're dead. Um,
That's just so nonchalant.
it was like 13 years ago. We've moved on
Oh, I'm sorry.
anyway,
It's
but
easier for some people than others. Okay.
some people after 10 years we've it's not that it doesn't hurt, but we've dealt with it better. So anyway, um
That's so messed up.
also not wrong though. That's the sad part of the conversation. I'm not wrong. It just
No,
makes you feel uncomfortable.
it does because you're an ass.
And I'm not wrong. Anyway, but no, it's definitely like a sad thing because I mean obviously she killed her parents, but I feel like as weird as it sounds, like she's dealt with it enough where the killing of her parents is not what is messing her up right now.
It's that their family
Abandoned her,
abandoned her, knew what was going on, and
like still
chose.
considers her as the monster.
Yeah.
which I still think is kind of interesting. But anyway, I'm curious to see how she uses her powers without cutting herself, because
Yeah.
that's the next step of her evolution.
Yep.
I mean, we
Uh,
sort of saw her do it with the big hammer guy a little bit, or tried to anyway.
mhm.
Um,
I
what
don't remember at the end of season 1 if when she exploded Kate's arm, if
no,
Kate had blood exposed when she did that.
she did not, which
She
was
did not.
well, ooh, not the typical sense. There was blood though because she had the blood in her eyes, so there
Yeah.
was
So
bleeding,
like there
but it
was
was
blood.
internal. But it was internal bleeding, so I don't know if that changes it. That's why I hesitated because I was like,
No,
no,
the
but like
only
yes,
but at the same time, the only reason I was like, okay, like I hesitated at that because if there was blood coming out of her eyes, she would be controlling the blood in her eyes and her head, making her head explode instead of her arm.
no, I agree, but I wanted to make it clear like there was blood.
Yes.
I don't know if that's still a trigger for her at the time. Like there
Mm,
had to have been blood outside the body for her to explode the hand.
yep.
I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm saying like way her mentally deals with her powers. There
Yep.
had to have been blood, and then she blew up the hand.
That also was an extreme situation where she like it
Absolutely,
could like because
absolutely.
she was panicking and looking to defend her friend, she just could was able to use her power in quote unquote control while also not being in control.
She was able to use it without exposing her own blood or somebody else's blood, but was unable to, like she was only able to do so in the extreme sense. It
Hmm.
was not a normal thing for her at the time.
Yep. But
But yeah, next episode for sure is going to be
we're
um,
gonna find we're gonna see
the
we
aftermath
might
of
find
Jordan.
out what happened to Jordan.
We're gonna know
um
what happens to Jordan. There's no way around it.
I mean, it could go in like the only reason I said it the way I was is that it could have been an episode of Jordan going missing, and we
All right,
don't.
but that in and of itself tells you what happened to Jordan is what I'm getting at. Like meaning like we're gonna. I get your point. We won't know the details, but like we will know ish what happens to Jordan next episode.
Okay, yeah, we'll see the we'll
There's no
see
way
the
they can't
aftermath.
address it in some way. They can't.
Yeah, we're gonna see the aftermath. Either Jordan is like gonna go missing, or they kill them off, or they send him back to Elmira. You know, so like there's a whole list of things that could be done. But no matter what, Jordan is getting punished.
Correct.
So very interested. We'll see what happens next episode. There's still a lot more to be answered, more training. Wonder what's going to happen with Kate. I'm assuming I'm assuming she's eventually going to come around because here she is being all mad that they attacked her while she like they've emphasized the entire first 3 episodes that she's the reason why they were in Elmira, and
No,
because
correct.
she helped them get out, it's like, oh, you're supposed to forgive me now. Like,
Right.
nah.
And no offense, Cypher really let them out because let's be honest.
She has no sway.
Correct. And
She's a tool.
correct. And the fact, and I love the fact of him like belittling her. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just call Homelander. He's like, go right ahead. Tell him that you're broken. See how well that goes. And I was just like,
He is a
not wrong.
messed up individual. Like,
He's not wrong, but he.
yeah.
All right. You ready for my character spotlight?
Yep. Let's see.
The Ghost.
Oh, okay.
So, fun fact. Um, when do you think this character was introduced in Marvel Comics?
I want to.
So I will give you a this will sort of not really give you a hint, but the character's originally a man in the comics. I'll just say that. I don't know if that helps or hurts you.
That doesn't really help at all.
I
um,
feel like if I said woman, you would have thought earlier. That's why I'm saying like hopefully that helps.
I say like my initial response is going to be that he's an older character, but because of the way that you uh asked me how old he is, I want to say he's a newer character. So I want to say he's like after the year 2000.
1987.
Okay.
Such a random time I feel. But anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to talk about the origins. So the man to be known as the Ghost, because by the way, the Ghost is only the Ghost. They have no name.
Oh, okay.
They still don't. It's never been revealed.
So
Ever.
we've never seen their human form.
Oh, I think we have sort of because it's a man, but that's all we know. We don't know more than that. But anyway, the man to be known as the Ghost was once a promising data engineer for the major Computer Corporation and the brainchild behind Ghost Tech, a series of computer chips that phased into intangible state before overheating, yet could still function in this state and hold an incredible amount of data. The prized employee of this company, its executives used his genius to make themselves extremely wealthy, spurring his continued productivity with everything from sports tickets to sexual favors from other employees. Um, to keep him there. When the Ghost Tech project was finally completed, they had his lover killed after she threatened to reveal how the company made her into a call girl for their benefit, causing him to slide into a deep depression. Shocking. As a result, he infused his body with Ghost Tech and formed a cybernetic connection with the company's system. Through this, he discovered his girlfriend had been murdered, surviving an assassination attempt thanks to his Ghost Tech technology in his body. He dispatched the company executives one by eliminating any link to his past life and becoming a full-time corporate saboteur. It should be noted that his this origin may be inaccurate, given that Ghost was the one telling it to an untrustworthy Moonstone. So the reason why I say that is because it's him telling the story. They never did a flashback. I want to make that clear. So it was only him telling his backstory of what happened, not actually what
which could be misconstrued.
misconstrued. Yes.
Thank you.
And his prolonged existence within an intangible state has negatively affected his psyche, which is also another reason why they think the story might not be real.
Mhm.
So Ghost was contracted by Carrington Pax, a senior executive at Roxxon, Roxxon Oil, to sabotage Accutech rescue research and development. When Accutech declined to sell their data particle generator to Roxxon, Ghost was tasked to push Accutech into bankruptcy. However, Tony Stark of Stark Enterprises acquired Accutech and their technology and encountered the Ghost for the first time while examining the disturbance as none other than Iron Man. Iron Man was able to drive Ghost away, decided to seek vengeance against Stark and his corporation for stopping him from being able to do what his job is meant to be done. Ghost went rogue, and Accutech employed Spy Master to eliminate Ghost. Using a modified intangible circuits, Ghost caused a Spy Master to partially phase through a wall and kill him. So he pushed him halfway through a wall and went boom. Um, which is fun. The generator. So anyway, Iron Man set up a trap for Ghost, cornered him near a beta particle generator. The generator disrupted Ghost's suit, enabling Iron Man to fight him directly. Ghost tried to destroy the generator. However, the excessive heat from his malfunctioning costume melted the floor beneath him, causing him to plummet through. When Iron Man searched the area, he discovered only Ghost's charred costume was there, which most likely means Ghost is burnt. Now, do you know Justin Hammer? Remember Hammer? Hammer Tech?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Ghost was refusing, resurfaced, working with none other than Justin Hammer, um, and tried to take down none other than Stark Enterprises once again. So so Ghost confronted Hammer. The businessman revealed the defenses against Ghost's powers and left him trapped. After blasting his way out, the saboteur pledged to continue his crusade. Ghost was then hired by Kingpin to steal Roxxon's new process for creating synthetic vibranium. While that was happening, he encountered Spider-Man and Black Panther during this operation. I'm hungry and you're eating. No,
What was
no,
that?
no. I don't want. No, no, no. I said I'm hungry and you're eating.
Sorry.
After various companies were abruptly and violently attacked by explosives inside personal computers, Tony Stark, the attacks Advance Corp, a front for AIM, which typically avoided conventional business, but this case employed Ghost to remove the competition. Nearly defeating Iron Man once and escaping unscathed during their second fight, Ghost attempted to phase his hand into Iron Man's chest when Iron Man's artificial heart defended itself and knocked Ghost back. He was arrested, and his identity remained unrevealed, even though he was arrested. Having escaped, Ghost in an upgraded costume was employed by a third spy master to free the living laser, who was at Stark International at the time. Ghost tried to kill Iron Man once again and succeeded in destroying a decoy. His employer ultimately abandoned him once again. Shockingly, Ghost joined the Thunderbolts. The original Thunderbolts were um, created by Norman Osborn. Um, their members included Songbird, um, Black Widow 2, which is um, the Black Widow we know now, Ghost, I already said that, Headsman, and Paladin. Um, they helped escape custody, and Ghost erased the memories of Master X, Mr. X, and Scrooge in order to keep their place on the team. Stark Industries was disbanded at one point, just due to the fact that they. Um, okay. So the reason why Stark Industries was dismembered was because Tony Stark purposely lobotomized himself into a vegetative state.
That's messed up.
And his power of attorney was transferred over to Donald Blake, who then took over.
Okay. Hmm. Guilt conscious.
Yeah, I just want to make that clear. So then Ghost joins the new Thunderbolts, which were Luke Cage's Thunderbolts, which consisted
Okay.
of Juggernaut, Crossbones, Moonstone, and Mach 5. Um, Luke Cage, obviously, and Man Thing. They were on a mission hunting trolls, specifically Asgardian half trolls, um, or Asgardian trolls, and then because they were breeding, they also had half trolls. Um, Apparently, an Asgardian half troll was capable of cutting Ghost's suit while he was intangible, causing it a very difficult time for him to be able to control himself at that point. Later on, he was brought back to the raft, and apparently, Avengers Academy. I know you know about that. You've heard about me talk about that.
Yep.
Apparently, they had a Beyond Scared Straight moment where they brought the kids over to the raft to show them what happens when they don't use their powers appropriately. And apparently, Ghost was one of the ones to tell them what happens, to scare them, to make sure that they're not villains.
Okay.
Yep, I wish I had better answers than that. Um, Later on, the Thunderbolts returned, and Hydra's leader Baron Zemo and Mayor Fisk came up with a plan to deal with the Punisher once and for all. I want to make this clear because this could be a storyline in the future. Along with other villains, the Ghost was recruited by Zemo to join the new incarnation of the Thunderbolts. He was introduced at a press conference and was, as with other members, as Citizen V pronounced that they would end Punisher's reign of terror and restore order to New York City. Following the defeat of Zemo and his allies, the Kingpin had Ghost seemingly dispose of Zemo. Project Aru. After the aftermaths of New York, Ghost discovered his old lover had secretly had her consciousness uploaded into a computer by the Roxxon Corporation. Why would they have a prostitute be put into a computer? We'll never know. Which was stolen by Moonstone. Using it as a bargaining chip, she convinced Ghost to aid her experiments to upload consciousness into the internet, creating a digital afterlife called Project Aru. After the discovery that she was using the bodies of her patients without their consent and without the intent of actually making sure her project worked, Ghost turned on Moonstone and aided the Strike Force, who had ended up in the hospital. In the resulting defeat of Moonstone, Ghost stole the data chip of his old lover and escaped before Strike Force could find him. Something I want to make clear in this one that's a little bit different: the suit and the technology is what makes Ghost Ghost in the comics.
Not her or him.
Correct. Correct. Where in the MCU, the suit contains her so she doesn't go bye bye.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I want to make just that distinction because that's the difference here.
Mm.
He's an expert computer scientist. He's a data engineer, proficient in technology of all kinds, which is why, like, the comic book Ghost is smarter than the Ghost we have because she herself was not the genius that made the suit.
Mm.
Gifted inventor, um, gradually became more proficient in the use of firearms, mentally unstable because of being reclusive and less social, and due to the effect of the suit itself, causing them to be unable to have proper interactions with humans. I find that to be funny. Um, the suit, so the powers that the suit gives: invisibility, intangibility, scanners, electronic disruptions, mechokinesis. The suit has the armor override feature that once allowed him to take control over the McVee's armor and phasing into it. Um, electroblasts, levitation. Levitation is interesting. Um, and
Hmm.
various high-powered firearms and explosives. Ghost is often marked as a terrorist, which is similar to the MCU.
Yep.
So, um, the power grid, the intelligence is a 4 because it is gifted. Strength is a 2 because it's normal. Speed is a 2 because it is normal. Durability is a 2 because it is normal. Energy projection is a 3 because it sort of is kind of has the energy blast, so it's like short range slash medium range. And the fighting style skills is a 2 because it is base it learned hand-to-hand combat, or like, I don't want to phrase it. There's a difference between being trained in hand-to-hand combat and learning in 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 real time, if you understand what I mean.
Mm. Yeah.
Like Captain America is skilled in it. Um, where somebody else is like on the street, they would only know what they do. But you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
So I thought that was interesting because I didn't know Ghost was a man. Not surprised though, but I just thought that was interesting. Also, Ghost's suit, weirdly enough, like the one from Thunderbolts,
Mm.
the
Pretty
mask.
close.
Well, the mask is a little bit different, but like very close. So
Yeah.
what they did. So I'll say this: the difference that they made for the Ghost helmet from the comics to now, like now, is like the difference that we got from the Arkham Knight's Red Hood
So more like more.
mask.
Yeah.
So like it like what's funny is like the like the only like it was just like a white helmet with like glowing yellow eyes,
Hmm.
but like obviously now it's more tech driven, so it's like it's
Yeah.
got that cloudiness look to it, where it's the same thing with what we got in Arkham Knight of Red Hood.
Yeah. That's cool.
I just wanted to mention that because I thought that was kind of interesting, but otherwise very much comic book accurate. I'm kind of surprised because they don't always do it like really well sometimes,
Yeah.
especially with a character that is not well known.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you
Uh,
have the right to change it. Let's be honest. But I thought that was interesting. I also we might be seeing Ghost later on. I mean, let me rephrase it. We know we are, but I meant like we could technically see Ghost in the Daredevil season 2. Weirdly enough.
yeah.
Um,
I was about to say we're about to see her in next this week actually. So
yes. I should have meant more specific in the
yeah.
MCU. But we'll have to wait and see. But for now, that is going to be our episode. Next week, we're going to be talking about any trailers that come out, which
So
I feel like there
much.
might. We're going to be talking about the
I
latest
really
episode.
hope not.
We're going to be seeing the latest episode of Peacemaker, the latest episode of Gen V, and all of season 1 of Marvel Zombies four-parter, and a character spotlight from Mike. So for now, make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Scott and Mike signing out of the Black Eel Podcast. Have a wonderful day or night.